Hey everybody, Dr. Bryton here for Two Tip Tuesday. Today we're going to be talking about cracks in teeth. Cracks in teeth are quite common to see in my day-to-day. The reason behind it, and I believe, is for a couple things. First things first, modern fillings in teeth have allowed us to keep them longer, and it's allowed us to salvage a tooth longer. And with that, you see the natural tooth structure around teeth start to crack, literally. And in addition to that, I think that we are keeping our teeth longer in general because we're able to hold off on things like decay with the use of things like fluoride and brushing and flossing and keeping teeth cleaner so it's not being broke down by decay. However, all that being said, tooth structure is very similar to bones in that over time things wear out regardless, and so we start to see more and more cracks in teeth. So for those of you that have had questions, I want to talk about cracks in teeth because we have a lot of people that have cracks and have wondered, what is going on with these cracks in my teeth? Because first and foremost, cracks aren't usually symptomatic. You normally don't feel them. In addition to that, you don't see them on x-rays. So x-rays pick up changes to density, and cracks don't change the density of the tooth, they just shift the tooth structure, and as a result, you don't see them on x-rays. So you don't feel them, you don't see them on x-rays, but they're very common to be seen in the mouth. So just want to go over an example here. So this is a tooth, had an old silver filling through here. On the x-ray, we picked up that there was decay along the edge of where the tooth and the filling met in between the tooth. So then we looked at the tooth in the mouth and we noticed there's some cracks over here. These cracks are stained. We can see that they're full-blown cracks. Now, tooth structure is similar to blocks of ice in that it's a crystalline structure. So you see a block of ice and you'll see those cracks that go through it. Teeth can have very similar things happen to them that are called craze lines. These little clear, what look like fractures that go right through the tooth. And those aren't immediately something that we have a problem with. But when we see a crack that develops stain or darkness, that's when we know, all right, we need to be kind of in tune to what's going on to this tooth. And so we cut out the old filling through here, and a couple things I want you to see. First and foremost, there's a crack right down here at the base where that filling met the tooth. So where we saw the decay through there, we actually see a crack through there as well. In addition to that, the crack on the front side of this tooth actually runs quite deep through here. And so we've got to kind of get our alarm system going, all right, is there something bigger going on with this tooth? You see that when it's blown up, that's significant. So here's one of the biggest problems with cracks in teeth. One, crack can actually go deep, hit the nerve of the tooth, then we really got a problem. It can break teeth, lead to parts of the tooth breaking off. But in addition to that, cracks can let bacteria in. This is literally an entry point for bacteria to get into the heart of your tooth. That's why you'll start to see this decay start to go into that crack because bacteria's been getting in there. But as we clean out the tooth and we start to remove the decay through here, we also notice that crack that was on the side is actually going quite deep. It's a little bit faint through there, but it's really deep to the gum line. And so when you start to see that really deep cracks are happening, you got to go, all right, is there something bigger going on here that we need to be aware of? And sure enough, there is. So here's the crack that was right underneath the filling when we first took it out. Here's the crack on the backside at its depth that we saw from the beginning. And then notice this crack that runs all the way through here. Now this is one of your major cusps in the tooth. This is a buccal cusp is what it's called. So it's one of the cusps on the cheek side of your tooth. So it's one of the little slopes on this cheek side of your tooth. And that crack has started to make its way through that cusp. When we see that, a filling is no longer going to do it for this tooth at all. When you see that, you know to restore the tooth, you're going to have to put a full crown over top of it to inevitably give it kind of a structural strength, like a helmet. And so these are things that we're always trying to keep a lookout for. And again, no x-ray is going to pick it up, and usually the patient doesn't have any symptoms with it. So hopefully that's helpful for you. Hopefully that gives some of you out there that have had cracked teeth and have wondered a little bit more about them, kind of to a deeper level, some information. But if you have questions, comment below. Share it with somebody you think it might help, or call us if you have any questions. So thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you have a great rest of your week. Thank you so much.